Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the market opening bell for Monday, December 8th, your 10-minute guide to the stock market. Hong Kong stocks staged a solid comeback last Friday. The Hang Seng Index opened 103 points lower, dipped to an intraday low of 25,758, down as much as 178 points. Then steadily recovered, crossed back above 26,000 and finally peaked at 26,132 before closing at 26,085, up 149 points or 0.6%. The H-share index gained 92 points or 1% to finish at 9,198, while the Hang Seng Tech Index added 47 points or 0.8% to end at 5,662. Total market turnover rose to 210.4 billion Hong Kong dollars. For the whole week, the Hang Seng Index rose 227 points or 0.9%. The H-shares index climbed 0.7% and the tech index gained 1.1%. Southbound Stock Connect recorded a net inflow of $1.341 billion into Hong Kong stocks. The biggest net purchases were Xiaomi, totaling $3.013 billion, Tracker Fund $2.606 billion, Meituan $607 million, Leap Motor $392 million, and BYD $339 million. On the selling side, Alibaba saw a net outflow of $1.776 billion and Tencent $1.445 billion. Southbound funds have now bought Meituan for 7 straight days, totaling $2.895 billion. Bought Xiaomi for 6 consecutive days, totaling $5.065 billion. Sold SMIC for 12 straight days, totaling $3.568 billion. And sold Tencent for 4 straight days, totaling $3.904 billion. From a technical perspective, with turnover picking up again, the Hang Seng Index is likely to challenge the 50-day moving average near 26,200 soon. A clear breakout and hold above that level would open the door to 26,500 next. Over on the mainland, the 3 major A-share indexes were weak in the morning session on Friday, but rallied strongly in the afternoon. The Shanghai Composite regained the 3,900 level and closed at 3,902, up 27 points or 0.7%. The Shenzhen Component Index finished at 13,147, up 140 points or 1%, and the Chinex Index closed at 3,109, up 41 points or 1.4%. Combined turnover in Shanghai and Shenzhen reached 1.7267 trillion yuan. For the week, the Shanghai Composite rose 0.4%, Shenzhen Component 1.3% and Chinex 1.9%. The renminbi central parity rate was adjusted 16 pips lower to 7.0749 against the US dollar. China's foreign exchange reserves stood at $3.3464 trillion US dollars at the end of November, increased by another up $3 billion US dollars from October. Gold reserves increased by another 30,000 ounces to 74.12 million ounces, marking the 13th consecutive month of additions. Among today's index constituent changes, newly promoted blue chip Innovent Biologics is down 1.7%. Leap Motor, newly added to the tech index, is up 0.8%. SMPT, removed from the tech index, is up 0.7%. And Yum China, newly added to the H-share index, is down 1.6%. In commodities, Swiss trading house Mercuria is reportedly planning to withdraw more than 40,000 tons of copper from LME warehouses, sending metal stocks higher. Large physical withdrawals from the LME are usually interpreted as a sign of tightening supply, combined with strong structural demand from electric vehicles, grid upgrades and AI data centers, plus supply constraints and tariff uncertainty. Many analysts now see copper reaching 13,000 US dollar per ton next year. On the product front, a new Xiaomi device carrying the model number 2608 BPX34C has appeared in the GSMA database. Industry sources widely believe this is Xiaomi's long-awaited Trifold phone, the mixed Trifold. Only Huawei and Samsung currently mass-produce Trifold devices, so Xiaomi will become the third company capable of doing so. Patents suggest it will use a Z Fold design similar to Huawei's Mate XT, offering 1, 2 or 3 screen modes. The phone is expected to launch in the third quarter of 2026. With memory prices surging, companies that enjoy higher average selling prices and a premium product mix are in a much better position to pass on costs. Investment banks point out that Xiaomi has achieved the strongest ASP growth among mainland Android brands since 2016, and in the third quarter of this year, its domestic ASP already surpassed Oppo, Vivo, and Honor. Its continued premiumization strategy, together with a greater focus on profitability rather than pure market share overseas, should help it weather the cost pressure effectively. Baidu surged on Friday after reports that its AI chip unit Kunlun Xin is preparing a Hong Kong IPO. The stock touched 124.8 Hong Kong dollars intraday and closed up 5% at $121.6. Kunlun Xin reportedly lifted its latest valuation to 21 billion yuan and expects revenue to exceed 3.5 billion yuan this year, while reaching break-even with more than half of sales coming from third-party customers. Listing application could be submitted as early as the first quarter of next year, with trading possibly starting in early 2027. Two IPOs that debuted last week both broke their issue prices on the first day, while the two new listings today show mixed grey market performance ahead of trading. Shanghai Able Digital Science and Tech, stock code 2687, grey market close Friday, was $88.1, up 30.5% versus issue price, yielding paper gain of $2,060 per lot. NovoSense Microelectronics, stock code 2676, grey market close was $105.3, down 9.2%, yielding paper loss of $1,070 per lot. Turning to the U.S., September core inflation came in exactly as expected, raising the probability of a Fed rate cut this week and pushing U.S. indexes higher on Friday. The VIX fell 2.3% to 15.41. The Dow rose 104 points or 0.2% to 47,954. The S&P 500 added 13 points or 0.2% to 6,870, and the Nasdaq gained 72 points or 0.3% to 23,578. The Nasdaq Golden Dragon China Index, which tracks U.S.-listed Chinese stocks, rose 1.3%. In corporate news, Netflix is reportedly prepared to pay $72 billion for Warner Brothers Discovery's film library and streaming assets, with a $5 billion breakup fee if regulators block the deal. And an announcement could come with dates. Warner shares jumped 6.3%, while Netflix fell 2.9%. Large tech stocks moved mixed. Meta rose 1.8%, Alphabet gained 1.2%, while Nvidia fell 0.5%, and Apple dropped 0.7%. Tesla edged up 0.1% after launching a lower-priced version of the Model 3 in Europe. U.S. September personal consumption expenditure PCE price index rose 0.3% month-on-month, and core PCE increased 0.2% month-on-month, both in line with market expectations. On an annual basis, the headline PCE inflation rate ticked up from 2.7% to 2.8% as expected, while the core PCE rate eased from 2.9% in August to 2.8%, also meeting forecasts. Separately, the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index for December rose to 53.3, beating the consensus estimate of 52. The final November reading was 51. Consumers' one-year inflation expectations fell from 4.5% in the preliminary December reading to 4.1%, and 5-year inflation expectations declined from 3.4% to 3.2%. Our stock pick today is InnoScience stock code 2577. InnoScience announces that on December 3rd, 2025, it has reached a strategic cooperation agreement with ON Semiconductor to adopt the group's mature 8-inch silicon-based gallium nitride process, jointly accelerating the application and deployment of the gallium nitride industry. This strategic cooperation will integrate InnoScience mature and advanced gallium nitride manufacturing capabilities with ON Semiconductor's expertise and advantages in system packaging and integration through methods such as wafer procurement, thereby accelerating the rapid commercialization of gallium nitride in fields such as new energy vehicles, artificial intelligence, data centers, and industrial applications. According to the group, this strategic cooperation is expected to bring hundreds of millions of dollars in gallium nitride sales to the group in the coming years and provide both parties with a first-mover advantage in market expansion and deployment in the aforementioned key areas. InnoScience is the world's only silicon-based gallium nitride power chip company with a full voltage spectrum product matrix. Its mass-produced and R&D products cover voltages from 15 volt to 1200 volt, focusing on two major gallium nitride application development directions: high voltage, high power, and medium-low voltage, high frequency. It continuously optimizes product performance and application reliability. As the world's first gallium nitride IDM company to achieve large-scale mass production of 8-inch wafers, InnoScience has reached cooperation intentions with multiple well-known domestic and international companies in the first half of this year. This includes signing a joint development agreement with ST Microelectronics to jointly expand their respective product portfolios and market supply capabilities, meeting the diverse application needs of customers both domestically and internationally, reaching a strategic cooperation with media, where both parties jointly invest to focus on expanding gallium nitride applications in home appliances and other fields, conduct innovative R&D and promote the commercialization of new gallium nitride products and solutions in home appliances, kitchen appliances, and other application areas. Among them, the 700-volt high-voltage gallium nitride product has successfully achieved mass production in media's range hood products and will further expand to applications in air conditioners, refrigerators, washing machines, and other products. Establishing a joint laboratory with United Automotive Electronics to collaborate on developing smaller volume, lighter weight power supplies and drive systems for electric vehicles, promoting scenario-based applications of gallium nitride in new energy vehicle power electronic systems, and reaching a cooperation with NVIDIA to jointly promote the large-scale deployment of 800-volt DC power architecture in AI data centers, providing NVIDIA with a full-chain gallium nitride power solution from 800-volt input to GPU terminals, covering 15-volt to 1200 volt. The group will continue to deeply cultivate the red ocean market of consumer electronics applications, expanding product layouts in multiple fields such as home appliances, kitchen appliances, air conditioners, wearable devices, and mobile energy storage. In the data center and automotive electronics sectors, it will collaborate with leading industry manufacturers to promote the large-scale mass production of new gallium nitride solutions. At the same time, in emerging application areas such as humanoid robots, drones, Bitcoin, and stablecoin server power supplies, it will continue to increase R&D investment and proactively deploy more efficient and environmentally friendly solutions. Recommended buy price $79, targets $86, stop loss $75. I do not hold the above stock.